Good evening. Thanks a lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar, wishing all our viewers a very happy Dussehra. We're beginning this broadcast with some breaking developments now coming in. And this is news coming in from Israel, where you have the French President Emmanuel Macron, who is on a visit to Tel Aviv in Israel. We're now getting the joint statement that has been issued by the French President Emmanuel Macron and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The French President Emmanuel Macron, in fact, has proposed an international coalition against Hamas. He's called for decisive relaunch of Palestinian peace process. As we pointed out, the French President Emmanuel Macron is in Tel Aviv for a solidarity visit. Macron's meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is currently underway. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that elimination of Hamas is their main objective. The Israeli Defense Minister said that Israel is preparing for a multilateral operation on Hamas from air, ground and sea.
There is a battle here between the axis of evil led by Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, and there's the axis of the free world and the moderates who want to bring the world to the progress and prosperity of the 21st century. This is the battle. It's engaged now. The test for the West and for civilization is Hamas. If Hamas emerges victorious, we will all lose. Europe will be endangered. Everyone will be endangered. Civilization will be endangered. So if Hamas wins, if Hamas loses and is defeated, then the forces of civilization win. That is why this battle is not merely our own. It's Europe's battle. It's America's battle. It's civilization's battle. It's the battle for the heart and soul and the future of the Middle East and the Arab world.
I want to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, not just for your time, but because I'm lucid about the fact that this fight against terrorism is obviously a matter of existence for Israel, but it's a matter of existence for all of us. This is why we discussed together, and I just reminded this issue, but I consider that this is an international coalition in order to fight against these terrorist groups that we have to build. I just reminded my people in my language what we discussed about fight against terrorism, humanitarian action, rules to be respected, but as well political process. And obviously I warned against any escalation, and I want Hezbollah and some other regimes not to be part of what's happening.
Let's also now bring in our colleague Siddhant, who's joining us on the broadcast. Siddhant, we do know that the French President Emmanuel Macron is on what is being seen as a solidarity visit to Israel. He's had multiple meetings with the President and the Prime Minister as well. Give us the big takeaways as far as this joint address is concerned.
Well, yes, that's right. In fact, Emmanuel Macron also joins the club of a few selected leaders from the Western Bloc to visit Tel Aviv and perhaps to meet Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, look, right now there is a high possibility of perhaps West Asia is at a risk of entering in a situation of a regional conflict, given the China deploying 6 warships in the Middle East, the way Russia and China have been taking positions, talking more about two-state solution, more about ceasefire and humanitarian corridor to Gaza, not condemning Hamas. Some geopolitical observers are even calling axis of evil to the 3 countries, perhaps coming together in these times, Iran, China and Russia. So this is not only a war between Hamas and Israel anymore. It is at a risk of becoming a regional conflict, and perhaps that could have a larger geopolitical ramification. And that is perhaps has been highlighted by Benjamin Netanyahu during a press conference that he did with Emmanuel Macron, that if Hamas wins, then it would be a threat to civilization. If Hamas wins, then it would be a threat to the whole of Europe. And that is perhaps how Israel is portraying the threat, and that is to an extent a reality also which Western Bloc feels. and this is a reason that they are coming in
Okay.
solidarity with Tel Aviv and standing shoulder to shoulder with the people of Israel. Back to you.
Okay, Siddhant, we'll have to leave that conversation there. Keep a close eye on all those developments for us.